Have you ever stopped to wonder if something as innocent as fruit, nature's gift, wrapped in sweetness, might actually betray you? We grow up believing fruit is the epitome of health, a symbol of vitality. The vibrant reds of cherries, the sun-kissed yellow of bananas, the cheerful pink glow of grapefruit at breakfast, they whisper promises of nourishment, of wellness, of life. But here's a quiet truth. Aging changes everything. What once healed can now harm. What once energized can now inflame. And what once passed through your body without consequence can now build up silently, dangerously, and without warning. You see, after 60, the body is no longer the same resilient machine it once was. It is wiser, yes. But it is also more vulnerable. The kidneys slow. The liver filters more delicately. Our blood sugar control becomes fragile, like glass under pressure. Our heart, our joints, our memory each carries the wear of decades. And while the world keeps shouting about superfoods and miracle fruits, no one seems to tell you what really matters for your stage of life. As a physician who has spent a lifetime walking beside older adults, I must tell you. Not all fruits are your friends. In fact, some can quietly chip away at your strength, your stability, even your heartbeat. But the story doesn't end in fear. Because nature, ever wise, ever generous, also offers remedies. Fruits that heal, protect, and even restore what time has slowly worn down. So today, let's confront this truth. Together. With open eyes and steady hearts. Let me walk you through the 4 fruits you must never touch again, and the 4 your body is silently begging for. Because after 65, every bite matters. And it's time we started treating it that way. Let's begin with one that's fooled millions. Grapefruit. Beautiful. Elegant. Deadly. At first glance, grapefruit is the image of health itself. That glowing pink interior. The slightly bitter zing that wakes you up in the morning. It feels clean. Fresh. Heart healthy. But for seniors, especially those on medication, it can be catastrophic. You see, grapefruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins. Harmless on their own, until they meet your prescriptions. These compounds block a crucial liver enzyme, CYP3A4, the very enzyme your body uses to process over half the drugs on the market. Now imagine this: you take your morning statin to protect your heart. You wash it down with a fresh glass of grapefruit juice, thinking you're doing everything right. But inside, your liver, confused, blocked, can't clear the medication. The drug builds up. Higher and higher. Your muscles begin to ache. Your heart rhythm falters. You feel dizzy. Weak. And by the time you connect the dots, you're in an emergency room. I've seen it happen. Too many times. A kind senior, doing all the healthy things, suddenly in crisis because no one told them the truth about grapefruit. It's not about fear. It's about informed care. This fruit, lovely as it looks, is not safe for the 70% of Americans over 65 who take daily medication. The risk is too great. The reward, too small. If grapefruit can do this, what else is hiding behind sweetness? Let's talk about cherries. So small. So sweet. So seductive. We remember them from childhood. Cherry pies. Cherry slushies. Summer picnics. That innocent crunch when you pop the pit free with your teeth. But cherries, especially when dried or juiced, carry a dangerous truth. Sugar. A lot of it. 1 cup of sweet cherries can contain nearly 20 grams of natural sugar. And for seniors whose insulin regulation is already compromised, that sugar isn't just natural, it's inflammatory. It causes your blood sugar to spike and crash, like a roller coaster you didn't choose to ride. You may not notice it at first. A little fatigue. Some joint pain. A restless night. But over time, that sugar weakens your pancreas, inflames your joints, and fans the flames of arthritis, metabolic disease, and even cognitive decline. And it's not just the sugar. Cherries are acidic. And acidity, when paired with age-weakened tissues and inflamed joints, becomes fuel for discomfort. For swelling knees. For throbbing hands. You thought you were enjoying a sweet memory. But your body feels the aftermath like a betrayal. Then there's the banana. The trusted friend. It sits quietly on countertops, tossed in cereal bowls, carried in purses for a quick snack. It's the fruit we're taught to love. And for good reason, potassium is crucial. But like all good things, too much is dangerous. Especially after 65. You see, potassium is filtered through the kidneys. And for many older adults, especially those with heart conditions, high blood pressure, or who take ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, those kidneys are slowing down. That means the potassium from even one banana might not leave the body like it used to. It builds. Silently. You don't feel it right away. Maybe a flutter in the chest. Maybe fatigue in your legs. But the condition, hyperkalemia, is real. And it sends thousands of seniors to the hospital every year. What once gave you energy might now steal your heartbeat. That's the danger of aging with the same habits we had at 30. The fruit hasn't changed, but you have. And finally, the one that wears a mask of health more convincingly than any other. Dried fruit. Raisins. Dates. Apricots. Cranberries. They come in little bags, labeled heart-healthy, fiber-rich, natural. But dried fruit is a sugar trap. By removing the water, we concentrate the sugar, sometimes 3 to 5 times the original amount. A handful of raisins can contain more sugar than a donut. And with none of the fiber or hydration to balance it out, your blood sugar spikes like a fire alarm, loud, fast, and exhausting. Many seniors eat these with good intentions. On oatmeal. In trail mix. As a light snack. But the result? Spikes in glucose. Crashes in energy. Inflammation in your gut. And over time, weight gain, poor sleep, and that quiet erosion of control over your metabolism. They don't tell you this on the package. But your body knows. Your joints ache. Your sleep is restless. Your blood tests worsen. And all the while, you thought you were eating healthy. But here's where the story turns. Because just as there are fruits that harm, there are fruits that heal. Let's start with the one I believe every senior should welcome into their life. The blueberry. Tiny. Blue. Quiet. And yet, a fortress for your brain. The blueberry is a fruit that doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It works in silence, just as your memories sometimes fade in silence. Just as the clarity of thought, the spark of names and moments and purpose, can begin to dim, not suddenly, but slowly, like the sun setting over a long, quiet evening. But inside each blueberry lies something extraordinary. This little fruit, deep in color, soft on the tongue, is one of the most powerful protectors of the aging brain we've ever discovered in nature. Its secret? Anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their dark blue hue, but they are also warriors. They pass through the blood-brain barrier, a line most nutrients cannot cross, and once inside, they begin to defend your brain from the inside out. They calm inflammation. They protect nerve cells. They improve the communication between neurons. And they fight oxidative stress, the invisible corrosion that eats away at memory and cognition with time. Clinical studies have shown that seniors who regularly eat blueberries experience slower cognitive decline, sharper memory, improved executive function, even a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. It's not magic. It's nourishment. It's not a cure. It's defense. And in a world where the mind is often the first thing time tries to steal, the blueberry stands quietly at the gate. But the brain isn't the only thing this little fruit protects. Blueberries are low in sugar. They help regulate blood pressure. They support heart health and balance blood sugar levels, making them a safe and healing choice for diabetics, for hypertensive patients, and for anyone living with the vulnerability of aging arteries. A half cup a day. That's all. On oatmeal. In yogurt. Or eaten alone, like a secret between you and nature. And when memory feels a little clearer, when your thoughts return faster, you'll know this is the fruit that helped you remember yourself. And just as blueberries preserve your thoughts, another fruit guards your heart. A classic. A timeless ally. The humble apple. We've heard the phrase all our lives, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But for someone over 65, that isn't just an old saying. It's a quiet promise. Because apples, especially with the skin on, are rich in something called soluble fiber. In particular, pectin. Pectin is no ordinary fiber. It binds to cholesterol in your digestive system and escorts it out of your body before it ever enters your bloodstream. For seniors, this means apples actively lower LDL, the bad cholesterol, and reduce your risk of heart attack and stroke. They do this naturally, gently, without side effects. And beyond the heart, apples support digestion. Constipation, which can become a regular, painful battle in later life, often finds relief in the fiber of an apple eaten daily. They also help manage blood sugar, offering a sweetness that doesn't punish your pancreas or spike your glucose. They're filling, comforting, antioxidant-rich. And they're familiar. Apples connect us to seasons, to memories. Picking them, baking with them, sharing them. They're not exotic, and that's the beauty. They're steady. One apple a day. With the skin. Crisp, nourishing, dependable. A fruit that reminds your heart that it is still cared for, still protected. And if apples support your heart and blueberries guard your mind, then avocados do something even more intimate. They nourish the very structure of your body, your joints, your brain, your bones, your skin. The avocado is different. It doesn't shout with sweetness or sparkle with color. It whispers in green. And what it gives, your body craves. Where other fruits offer sugars and water, avocado offers fat. But not the kind you fear. The kind you need. Monounsaturated fat, a fat that doesn't clog, but clears. That doesn't inflame, but soothes. This fat protects the heart by lowering LDL and raising HDL. It cushions the brain, supporting cognition. It feeds your joints, calming inflammation, reducing stiffness, giving you freedom of movement without pain. And it supports hormones, especially in aging bodies where balance becomes harder to maintain. But the avocado's power doesn't stop there. It's rich in vitamin K, a nutrient crucial for bone strength. For those worried about osteoporosis or who felt the fear of a fall, this fruit helps your body hold itself up. It delivers folate, which supports circulation and mood. It offers potassium, yes, like bananas, but in a balanced form that doesn't flood your system all at once. And it contains lutein, an antioxidant that guards your eyes against macular degeneration and age-related blindness. Avocados are the rare food that support you from the inside out. They help you think more clearly, move more freely, see more brightly, and feel more whole. They're soft. Easy to digest. They ask little, but they give much. A slice on toast. A spoonful on a salad. A creamy addition to a soup. Each time, a quiet act of repair. And if avocado is the builder of strength, then papaya is the healer of discomfort. The fruit that brings ease where there is struggle. Relief where there is irritation. Peace where there is pain. Papaya is nature's answer to our most common and most intimate complaints. Indigestion. Bloating. Reflux. Arthritis. Inflammation. Joint stiffness. Why? Because papaya contains an enzyme called papain. And papain is a natural digestive aid. It breaks down proteins. Helps move food through your system. Calms the inflammation that often flares when digestion falters. For seniors on multiple medications, whose digestion is sluggish, who suffer from reflux or discomfort after meals, papaya is not just food, it's medicine in its purest form. No bottle. No warning label. Just a fruit that makes meals easier to bear. But it does more. Papaya is rich in vitamin C, supporting immunity. In vitamin A, supporting the skin and eyes. In vitamin E, fighting inflammation. And all of these together form a symphony of healing. If your joints ache in the morning, if your belly feels unsettled, if your immune system feels tired, papaya offers softness, simplicity, support. It doesn't require preparation. Just a few fresh slices. Bright orange. Sweet without overwhelming. Soft without struggle. It goes down easily, and you feel better for it. These are the fruits worth welcoming into your life. Blueberries for memory. Apples for your heart. Avocados for strength. Papaya for comfort. Each one selected not for trend, but for truth. Not because they're popular, but because they work. Because they care for the body that has carried you. Because they offer protection when you need it most. But here's the most important part. These fruits only work if you choose them, consistently, mindfully, with love. It's not just about knowing. It's about living. And what happens when you live this way, with your food as your daily act of healing? That's where we'll go next. So what happens when you begin to live this way? When you no longer eat just to fill time, or to chase old habits, but instead treat each bite as an offering, an act of care to the body that has carried you through decades of storms and sun? It's quiet at first. Maybe one morning, you notice your joints don't ache quite as much when you get out of bed. Maybe your digestion feels lighter, your sleep more restful. You find yourself recalling names faster. You rise from your chair with less hesitation. Your morning walk feels easier. Your mind is clearer, not sharp like it once was in youth, perhaps, but steady. Unclouded. Present. These are not miracles. They are the returns of the investments you begin making every single day when you choose wisely. Because health after 65 isn't built in hospitals. It isn't prescribed in pills. It's rebuilt, slowly and deliberately, in kitchens and quiet moments. At the breakfast table. At the grocery store. In those ordinary choices that no one sees, but your body always feels. You see, the human body is always listening. It hears the sugar you eat in silence. It feels the inflammation in your knees when you reach for that dried fruit snack again. It notices the relief when you replace grapefruit with papaya. It senses the steadiness when you slice an avocado instead of slathering on margarine. It smiles in ways you can't see, blood vessels relaxing, neurons firing with ease, digestion flowing without protest when you nourish it with the fruits that want to heal you. It is never too late to treat your body as something sacred. Because no matter what's happened in the past, no matter what damage, what diagnoses, what regrets you still have today, you have right now. You have the power to say, from this moment forward, I will care for myself in a new way. And in that decision lies everything. Do you know what I've come to believe, after all these years walking hospital halls, comforting families, and helping older adults navigate the changing terrain of their bodies? Aging is not the enemy. Neglect is. Aging is natural. It is the proof that you have lived, and loved, and carried others on your shoulders. The wrinkles on your skin, the silver in your hair, the quiet in your step, these are not signs of decay. They are medals. Evidence of a life that has endured. But the world does not always honor the aging body. It tells you to push through the pain. To accept the decline. To silence your symptoms. It tells you that weakness is inevitable, that memory loss is normal, that digestion must suffer. It tells you that your best years are behind you. I'm here to tell you something different. Your best years are the ones where you are most aware, most intentional, most free. And that can begin at 65, or 70, or 85. But it begins with choosing what supports your health, not just what satisfies your cravings. So I ask you, from the heart of a physician who has sat beside many hospital beds and seen the power of even small changes. What would your life feel like if your brain felt clearer? If your joints ached less? If your sleep deepened and your mornings felt lighter? What would it feel like to be in control of your health again, not completely, but enough? Because that's what these fruits offer. They aren't fads. They aren't trendy cleanses or magic potions. they are wisdom in edible form. They are medicine grown from the earth, made for a body like yours. Blueberries to guard the mind. Apples to protect the heart. Avocados to fuel your strength. Papaya to soothe and heal. Together, they become a lifestyle. A quiet revolution you begin in your own kitchen, without fanfare, without waiting for permission. And just as important as what you bring in is what you let go. Let go of the fruits that no longer serve you. Let go of grapefruit if you're on medication. Let go of cherries soaked in syrup and sugar. Let go of the daily banana if your kidneys no longer filter potassium as they used to. Let go of dried fruits that spike your blood sugar and leave you depleted. Letting go is not loss. It is wisdom. It is maturity. It is self-respect. Because every bite is a message. To your cells. To your blood. To your bones and brain and heart. Every bite is a decision. To build. To repair. To restore. You are not powerless. You are not too old to change. You are not too far gone to heal. You are not past the point of hope. You are in the perfect moment to begin. And when you begin, you'll find that health after 65 isn't about extremes. It's not about dieting or restriction or chasing youth. It's about alignment. Aligning your choices with your body's needs. Aligning your meals with your medications. Aligning your habits with your healing. And when you do that, even in the smallest of ways, you feel it. Not just in your body, but in your spirit. Because nothing feels better than waking up and knowing you're taking care of yourself again. Not out of fear, but out of reverence. Out of love. That is what I wish for you. That you wake up tomorrow and choose blueberries. That you eat your apple not just because it's good for you, but because it makes you feel capable. That you slice that avocado as an act of nourishment. That you enjoy your papaya knowing your body is thanking you with every swallow. And that you pause before picking up foods that once served you, but no longer do. That you reflect, with gentleness, on the changes you need to make and begin making them. Because your health, your joy, your vitality, they are still here. Waiting. Asking only for your attention. Your care. Your intention. You deserve to age with strength. You deserve to move through the world without fear of falling, or forgetting, or fading. You deserve a body that supports your independence. A mind that holds your memories. A heart that beats with steadiness and pride. And you can have all of it, one bite at a time. So let this be your invitation. Not to a diet. Not to a fad. But to a new chapter. A wiser chapter. A softer, stronger chapter. One that begins in your kitchen. At your table. With your choices. May your meals become your medicine. May your food become your healing. May your fruit bowl become your pharmacy. And may you walk through the rest of your life knowing that caring for yourself is not selfish. It is sacred. Because when you nourish yourself, you don't just add years to your life. You add life to your years. You add presence. Energy. Memory. Freedom. And most of all, you add the dignity you were born with, the one no disease, no diagnosis, and no number can take away. It has been my honor to share these truths with you. And now, I pass them to you one mindful bite at a time. Before you go, if this message stirred something in you, if it reminded you of your strength, your worth, or your ability to choose healing, click subscribe to walk this journey with us. Tap the bell so you never miss another message made just for you. And if someone you love is over 60, share this with them. Let them know their body still matters. Their future still matters. They still matter. Because aging with strength is not just possible, it's powerful. And it begins with one small choice. Thank you for watching. Thank you for choosing to care. And thank you for being here.